Waiting for the Sun is the third studio album by the American rock band The Doors. It was released in July 1968 and became the band's first and only #1 album, spawning their second US #1 single, Hello, I Love You. It also became the band's first hit album in the UK, where it peaked at number 16 in the chart. With the exception of 2 songs, the material for this album was written after the band's initial songs from the formation of the group had been recorded for their debut album and second album, Strange Days. The centerpiece of this album was supposed to be the lengthy theatrical piece Celebration of the Lizard, but in the end only the Not to Touch the Earth section was used. The album has sold over 9 million copies. Structure: the track Celebration of the Lizard was intended to take up an entire album side, but the group was never able to capture a studio recording that they liked. Many fans have suggested that once Celebration of the Lizard was shelved, 2 of the band's earliest tracks, Hello, I Love You, and Summer's Almost Gone, were resurrected and re-recorded to fill in the void. Early arrangements of these 2 tracks had been recorded for the band's original 1965 demo. Waiting for the Sun ended up being the shortest studio album by the band. A studio run-through of Celebration of the Lizard, and 2 early takes of Not to Touch the Earth were included as bonus tracks on the 40th anniversary expanded edition release of this album. Waiting for the Sun has often been criticized for its softer, mellow sound, a departure from the edgier, more ambitious sound for which the band had become well known. Nonetheless, the album contains some rarely disputed classics, most notably Hello, I Love You, 5-1, Spanish Caravan, Not to Touch the Earth, and the controversial anti-war anthem The Unknown Soldier. The title track Waiting for the Sun was left off this album, but would be included on the 1970 album Morrison Hotel. This album marked keyboardist Ray Manzarek's transition from a Vox Continental to Gibson G101, the organ he is best known for playing live. The US monophonic pressing, though only a fold-down of the stereo mix to mono, is one of the rarest pop-rock LPs and has been sought after by collectors for years. Guitarist Robbie Krieger's skills with the flamenco guitar can be found present in Spanish Caravan. Track listing: all songs written and composed by Jim Morrison, Robbie Krieger, Ray Manzarek and John Densmore. Chart positions, singles, certifications, personnel, The Doors, Jim Morrison lead vocals, percussion, Ray Manzarek Gibson G101 and Vox Continental organ, RMI Electra piano, backing vocals, percussion on My Wild Love, Robbie Krieger guitars, backing vocals, percussion on My Wild Love, John Densmore drums, backing vocals and percussion on My Wild Love. Additional musicians: Douglas Luban bass guitar on tracks 1 to 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, Kerry Magnus bass guitar on track 6, Leroy Vinegar acoustic bass on track 7, technical staff and artwork, Bruce Botnick engineer, Paul Ferrara front cover photograph, William S. Harvey art direction and design, Jack Hillsman production supervisor, Paul A. Rothchild producer, Guy Webster back cover photograph. References